Hey everybody, it's Beth from Yoga Bliss. I wanted to pop in for a little mini practice where we're looking at Warrior Two and side angle, just to have a little bit of an awareness of what's going on in that pose and just an enjoyable movement practice. So let's hop on the mat. So we're going to start in like a star pose. So you can set your feet as wide as is comfortable. Sometimes you'll use the wrists under the wrists over the ankles kind of feel. I'm not married to that. I would like you just to feel stable in your position. For the moment, I'm turning the outer edges of my feet parallel to the edges of my mat as sort of a marker and letting my thighs roll in a little bit. And then I'm just going to, without tucking my pelvis completely, I'm going to lift the front of my hip points up. That's that slight little posterior tilt, slight little backward tilt, but I still want to feel the natural curve of my lower back. So again, I'm going to roll my thighs a little in and tops of the thighs back, and I'm just going to invite the hip points to lift a little bit so that I still have that natural curve of my lower back. And then from here, I'm try to organize my rib cage right over my hips. So I'm thinking of my low ribs right over my hip points and my shoulders over my ribs and my ears over my shoulders. So I've got this sort of stacking, if you will, but I'm also organizing based on the curves of the spine. So I don't want to overdo or underdo any of them. Then from here, we're going to rotate the right thigh out. So the toes point forward or even a little out to the right. And you'll notice I'm not working to crank this hip back. I'm letting this hip follow the other hip. So keeping the pelvis working together as a unit. And I'm bending my front knee right over my ankle, more or less. Okay. And then as I'm organizing this knee, just trying to find more of the center line of my foot so it's not falling in toward the big toe. If you feel that happening or you notice that happening, you can do a couple of things. You can see if you can move your outer right side back, your inner right thigh forward. I love that circuit of energy, of movement, right? That's happening. So you can lead your inner right thigh forward. You could also turn your left hip a little forward with the pelvis and see if that takes away some of the pull of the inner thigh. That's something you can play with. Then we'll let the belly and the chest rotate a little to the side. We'll open up the arms. You can just lightly focus your gaze over your right fingertips and enjoy your breath in and enjoy your breath out. There's so much of this pose. These are just some foundational things you can play with. And then when you inhale, you can turn your palms to the sky and let's tilt back without disturbing too much of anything else. Create a little side bend towards your back leg. A little peaceful warrior. Then as you inhale, come on up. Straighten your legs, relax your arms, and let's pivot the feet. So I'm going to rotate my right thigh in. I'm even going to crack my heel out a little bit so that my foot starts to organize the leg and the pelvis. They're all working together. I'm going to rotate my left thigh out. So my toes are pointing straight ahead or even a little off to the left. I'm going to bend this left knee. And so we didn't talk too much about the feet. So you can let the toes spread and not get too claw-like. And see if you can organize a little bit of the weight between the big toe mound and the outer heel on the back foot to the inner arch lip. And I like to kind of think of that way too. We always talk about the four corners of the feet, but sometimes I like to play with two diagonally. That for some reason that helps me find that lifted feel of the inner arch. And then from here, we'll organize your pelvis. So not too tilted forward like a cow, not tucked under like cat, but sort of in the middle. And your ribs and your shoulders and your head right over that. We'll breathe the breath in and breathe the breath out. Take one more breath here. And then as you inhale, without disturbing the lower half too much, tilt back, make that little peaceful warrior. And then when you inhale next, we'll come on up. We'll straighten the legs and relax the arms. Turn the legs. One more time, we're going to rotate to the right. Again, you let your pelvis go with you. Bend your knee. You can find those little lifts of the inner arches of the feet. I like to think diagonal. Big toe, outer heel is what feels organized to me in this shape. And then from here, again, weave your right inner thigh forward, your right outer side back. And I'm going to take this bowl of your pelvis and take the whole thing and tilt it over, trying to keep some length through your spine. You can prop your forearm on your thigh and then root down into your thigh to lift up out of that shoulder. And then out of the back foot and lengthen through the top of your head. And then you can take a little rotation of your torso toward the left. And breathe your breath in and breathe your breath out. Now, if you like, reach your left arm long toward your back foot. Rotate your arm out so your palm faces the sky and scoop it up and over your ear. And keep all that you're doing, a breath in and a breath out. As you inhale, root into your feet, come on up, and we'll tilt it back, peaceful warrior. And as you breathe in, we'll come back up. And then straighten your legs, relax your arms. One more time, we're going to pivot those feet. So find the little lifts of the inner arches of your feet. Relax your toes a bit so they're not too grippy. Bend your left knee, let your left inner thigh reach long forward, your left outer side, draw back. Nice little circuit of energy. Even though the pelvis is turning a little to the left, we'll keep it as upright as you can, your ribs right over that. And then we're going to take the whole bowl. It's a pelvic tilt over as far as you can comfortably go. Then you can put your forearm on your thigh, like a little shelf. Push into that shelf. You lift up out of this shoulder, out of that armpit. Keep that collarbone a little wide-ish feel. And then from here, there's a little rotation of the trunk toward the right. You can stay right here or reach your right arm long toward your back right foot. Anchor that foot. Rotate your arm out, palm to the sky, and then scoop it up, reach, 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 and you can even take it over your ear. And we'll enjoy your breath in. Strong through your legs, root into your feet. And the next time you inhale, reach up to come on up. And then we'll tilt it back, still strong through those legs. When you're ready to inhale, we'll float back up. And then straighten your legs, exhale your breath. Relax your arm, turn your toes. You can either heel toe or jump your feet together. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me here and playing around with Warrior 2 and Peaceful Warrior and Side Angle. I hope you have fun exploring on your own. Take care for now.